Greetings, YouTube! Today is time for the answers to the questions posed on my 5,000 subscriber Q&A request. So I'm going to answer questions that were posed to me from that video. I'm just going to read directly from the video because I am lazy to make a list, too lazy to make a list properly. First question up is from Dorian Zane and wishes me happy birthday. Thank you. And it says, which licensed properties do you think could be made into excellent RPGs but haven't yet? Lanier's Hero's Journey would be good. The 97 Steps, is that by Perry? I'm not positive. But it's in a series about it's a futuristic series dealing with an oppressive government taken down by some assassins. And the first book was called The Man Who Never Missed. And it was very good. And then there was S. Andrew Swan's Morrow series, which dealt with the ramifications of anthropomorphic animals in our world and our eventual move from our planet into an interstellar community. All three of those would make excellent RPGs, in my opinion. But I don't know that any of them are ever going to see the light of day. Mary Trek, are there auditions for Little House on the Prairie remake? No. Just sometimes my inner mythos comes out. Weapons Collector asks, this is my friend Mike, wish you a happy birthday. Out of curiosity, is there any Stephen King landmark you can visit in Portland, Maine? Although saying that I think it lives in Bangor, for all I know, could be miles away. Yes, the distance between Bangor and Portland is like over 200 miles. I think it's 240 miles. So there's a big chunk of distance between those two places. So I don't think there's anything in Portland, Maine. I did not look when I was there. Okay, question. Have you read any Stephen King books? And if you have, which ones? I read everything up to Thinner, including his Bachman material. I was a big Stephen King fan. When it got to Thinner, I had become a little less thrilled with King, and I had a friend of mine when we were together at the bookstore, and Thinner had just hit paperback, I think it was. So I asked the guy, I said, pick up the book, turn to the last page. Then I said, I'm going to read to you the last paragraph. And I read the last paragraph to him. And I was close enough to what he actually wrote, without ever having touched the book, that I thought to myself, I don't need to read King anymore. I knew how his beats went. I knew where the book was going to go. And I just wasn't enamored by his style. But I will admit that the works he did write, I thought were awesome. He is an excellent author. He just ceased to be interesting to me after a time. Did you get any weapons for your birthday? And if you did, what did you get? Aha! I forgot to get this for the video. See if I can find where I put it. I know I have it somewhere. Or my cat stole it from me. My cat steals things from me all the friggin' time. Shoot. I do not know where it went. Crap. I'm looking at my ass. Sorry about that. It's a straight razor. My father gave me a straight razor that belonged to my great-grandfather, which I believe is an ivory handle. If you look at last week's bargain videos, it shows up in one of those. Sorry about that. Jan, happy birthday. Hope you had a great birthday. Apparently. Oh, no, that's telling me that his gift did not make it here in time. His gift did make it here just a few days late. He sent me a copy of Dark Eye, which is a German RPG. Birthday. My question is, does your owlbear plushie have a name? This is from Tobias Hellkit. Tobias Hellkit. And my plushie doesn't have a name. Here's my plushie. And I just realized this when this person posed the question, and I have not thought of one. So I'm posing to my viewers, anyone that sees this, what should I name my plushie owlbear? Alrighty. What we got here? Amy writes to me. She asked me if I'm wearing a hat. Oh, she showed me I have to wear that hat to Maine, and my response is, what hat? Okay, from Motion Froggy underscore. Okay, Motion Froggy underscore Froggy. Rather, Motion underscore Froggy happens to quite like cat videos. Have you ever heard of any new singers lately, such as Melina Martinez, Zella Day, Foxes, and Aria Grande. I have heard of Foxes and I have heard of Aria Grande, and prior to the controversy dealing with the Aria Grande uh, concert when there was the attack. Um, and I don't think I've actually listened to anything from either of her or Foxes, but I have heard people talk about them online. Um, I don't know much about these people. I gotta tell you, I don't listen to a lot of music. When I do listen lately, it's been classical. A lot of classical lately. Uh, when I'm with my wife, we'll listen to music occasionally, and it's often something that she's interested in, or sometimes I'll just pull up something like blues or jazz. Occasionally, I'll pull up a specific artist, but I got to admit, I don't listen to a lot of new music. And then for a car, 99% of the time, I'm listening to NPR. 2, do you have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or any other social media platforms just like it? The closest I have at the moment is DeviantArt, which I am active on, which is Ironstaff at deviantart.com. I do have a Tumblr. I haven't done anything with it yet. I plan on using it to host my art images and my weapon builds and things like that. But I really haven't gotten anything to do it. I don't have not 100% sure how to use the interface properly. I am not the most technically savvy, and I am the first to admit it. 3, why do you post your videos so late at night? This is an interesting question because you are framing this as being late at night. I am framing this as loading them up at 12:30 a.m. the first thing in the day, because at 12:30 a.m. on a weekday, I'm 90 minutes into my shift at work. So I'm wide awake and working at 12:30 a.m. So for me, it's the first thing and the first part of the new day. I don't think of it as late at night. I think of it as early. So that's when I up all my stuff, is that I want to be into the first day, fully into the first day. So I set them up at 12:30, and that's just what happens. I don't know what time zone you're in, so I don't know how it looks like in your. But when I upload them, they go live 12:30 my time. Happy birthday! Someone wishing me many more birthdays. And this person asks a question. It's somewhat long, but since you brought up the Pathfinder horror supplement, my question may be fantasy horror related. Do you have a fantasy system emulating that genre? Do you have favorite, and do you have any thoughts, advice, or commentary on running horror in a fantasy setting? That is going to need its own video. And that is from Jackal Blade 9. That's a little bit too long and a little bit too specific for this particular video to respond with. So I'll probably do a video to that completely at some point. You play D&D, but do you play any video games on your computer? And why do you have do you have a Steam account? This is from Fansippy. How you doing? I do not have a Steam account. I do not play video games. The last video game I played here on my computer, let's see now, last game I played on my computer was Dungeon Hack, which was an emulation of 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons in its dungeon crawl. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Grimrock in some ways, where you're just going through this dungeon, randomized dungeon that's randomly created with a character, and it can be a very specific class and a very specific race, and you play multi-class like the old classic 2nd edition multi-class system they had, which means you had to play a non-human to do that, and you just work your way through, killing everything in your path, eventually making it down to the bottom where you kill the big baddie, which is a dragon. Interestingly, if you are paralyzed, you can't act. You can have to act, attack, or defend, but oddly, you can still move. So if you're paralyzed, you can kind of go, and you can run away, even though you can't do anything else. It makes no sense, but it's how it worked. It's kind of hard to hear you. Yes, I know. And she wants to know if there's any way I can make my voice louder. I am trying to work on something that'll help that at some point. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. But I do not know how to make my videos louder as it is. The videos you're looking at now are unrendered, straight from my system, filmed with the software from my camera. These videos right here will go up like it is. The ones I film on my little camera here, like all my crafting videos and my bargain videos and stuff, Those, I don't know if they come off sounding different or not, but those get rendered through Microsoft's Movie Maker because it makes them smaller, and often because I have to stitch things together, because in the bargain video I have, 5 or 6 different segments I have to put together. So those volumes, somebody tell me if you can tell a difference between those 2 volumes. Look at one of my bargain videos and then look at one of my face videos, like this one. Compare this face video with the more recent, one of the more recent bargain videos, and tell me if you can see a difference. And if anybody has an idea of why my volume is wrong, tell me. Another question: what has inspired you to start posting on YouTube? John Green and Hank Green. That's why. I watched a lot of their videos. In fact, I eventually watched all of them up to a certain point. I don't watch all of them anymore. In fact, I don't watch them often at all any longer. I watch them once in a blue moon. And I thought, if they can do it, I can do it. So one day I just went, book, turned my camera on, and started talking at a little lens. And that's it. And the next day I did it again. And the next day I did it again. There was no plan. There was no overarching purpose. It was just, I want to do this because I find it entertaining and because I'm an opinionated and mouthy bastard. Another question: do you have considered getting a P.O. box for fan mail? I don't have a P.O. box. I don't want to spend the money on a P.O. box because, I'll be honest, I don't have that many fans. There are people who have exchanged things via the mail, and if someone would like to do that, I have to make sure we have an established relationship, someone that I can trust. I do not want to get pulled into someone that is trying to get my information from me so that they can then dox me. I don't need that in my life. So if I know you, like Fancipy, yes, I would have no problem exchanging mail with you in the least. Last question: what drives you? Like, what do you want to achieve most in life, and do you feel like you achieve it or are doing it? Wow, that's a big question. At this point in life, what drives me is a desire to be a better person, and I failed miserably at it before the elections of November 2016, and I've gotten worse since then. And at the moment, I want to get back to where I was before the elections, and I fear that it's not going to be that easy, and it may not be possible. Because even if I can center myself again and get rid of my anger, or at least can put my anger in a reasonable place, the world has changed. Or I should rather say, my perception of the world has changed, because the world has always been this way, and I was just blind to it. And I did a video about this that you will be seeing, or have seen, from this week, when I talk about my anger, and I go into details a little more. But yeah, my perception of the world has changed, and I don't know if that's ever going to go back to where it was, or what I'm going to do with it. A couple of people are wishing me a good time in Portland. Happy birthday, which I appreciate. And here we go. So it's the last person. Okay, this is from Swarby8D. Happy birthday. This person subbed when I only had 300 subscribers. Thank you for being so loyal. No, actually, I'm sorry. They don't have a question. So, Fancipy, you are the last one. You're the last question of the day. So, yeah. Those are my questions from my Q&A for my birthday. So I appreciate everyone who asked, and I hope that all of you folks enjoyed the video. And I apologize for looking at my very white legs, looking for my straight razor. I don't know what the heck I did with it. I swore I kept it out specifically for this video, and I forgot to bring it in the room. Well, like I said, it's in the bargain video if you want to go poke around and find it. I think it's in the latter section of those. I usually put the gear and things like that in the end. I have sort of a structure for those videos, but it's not what you'd call hard and fast. That would be a good description of my channel. I sort of have a structure, but it's not hard and fast. Yeah, that should be carved on my gravestone if I have a gravestone, which I'm probably not going to, because I'm going to be cremated after I may even donate my body to research. I haven't decided yet, because frankly, once I'm dead, I'm not too concerned what happens to this pile of meat, because I won't be in it anymore. So thank you. I appreciate all of your input and your questions and your good wishes. It's nice to see that there are decent people in the world, and there are sometimes comment on my channel, which is also nice, and it's good to interact with them. I appreciate that. But yes, I appreciate all of my subscribers that are interacting and are watching and are part of our little tiny community here. I realize with 5,000 subscribers, my community is very tiny. I can remember my friend Skull and I had like the same number of subscribers, and now Skull's got like 834,000. So he and I are not on the same level anymore. No, he's way up here. But I do appreciate all the folks that comment regularly. You're always appreciated. Thank you.